I started working out about when COVID ended. I spent a lot of time during COVID watching a lot of fitness content creators, and that coupled with just the idea of being back in school surrounded by my peers and not wanting to be judged for my body gave me the motivation I needed to really want to work out. I became almost obsessed with science based bodybuilding and science based fitness because that was an important goal to me at that point, and that was the most logical option for me was to spend as much time learning about this as I can. And I do think that on the surface this is a very very good thing. It led to me learning a lot of things, but I think the issue with this nowadays is that it's so easy to get access to a lot of information when you're not necessarily ready to apply that information yet. What do I mean by this? I had watched hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos on different workout splits and different philosophies on working out and what you should do, how close you should get to failure, how much volume you should get. And the issue is, fitness is one of those things where it's so unique to each individual body that I would watch videos from two people and get two completely different workout styles, and they're both right. Right? Both of those workout styles work. They just work for them. And I didn't know what to do with my style because I had no idea what worked for me. And so, what this evolved into as I started actually going to the gym was a lot of changing my mind. I would say for the first year and a half of me working out, I was changing my routine like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month. And it was always because some new video would come up telling me about the new meta for bodybuilding. And I would just apply that and throw everything that I've already accomplished away. And I think that probably cost me a lot of gains because what I eventually figured out was that one of the most important things, more important than exactly how much volume you're getting per week and things like that, is how consistent you are. And what I was doing by switching routines so often was completely trashing my consistency. And so, what I eventually started doing, and what led to me actually making some of the most progress I've made in my entire life, was getting off the internet, sticking to a single routine, and listening to my body. Those three things did more for me than 80% of the videos that I had watched. Yes, there's a couple principles that you need to keep in mind when you're bodybuilding. These are things like getting close to failure, right? Maybe not all the way to failure, but getting to at least 1 or 2 reps in reserve. Making sure you're getting enough rest between the days that you're training and dialing in your nutrition. I'm not an expert on fitness, but from what I've learned, those three things are going to make more of a difference than most of the slop that's out there. And when I started focusing on those, that's when I made massive, massive progress. And I think this is something that you can apply to a lot of things outside just fitness. For me, it was fitness, but I have a lot of friends who take a very maximalist approach to studying. When my friends sit down to study, they're not thinking about what they're going to be doing consistently over the next 30 days till the exam. They're thinking about what they're doing today to maximize everything. And while that sounds good on paper, what that leads to is them burning out. Because, yes, the first day, maybe even the second day, they're able to push through 8 hour blocks of studying. But by the time they get a week in, their brain is completely fried because that's just not something they're used to, they've built up to at all. And I knew this, right? I had figured this out already. But for some reason, I just couldn't apply it to fitness. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that I was also doing at the time that I don't really think about anymore that I took the same approach with. And it's kind of funny to think that in the world we live in, where we're surrounded by so much knowledge, knowledge has actually become almost a constraint. Having too much knowledge about what you're supposed to do in the gym can confuse you too much to the point where you're not able to even make any progress.